Hello viewers, Kubiando, Kith and Kin, and welcome back to Roadwarden, where we are closing in on the end of our adventure here, and I gotta be honest with you, I do not really feel like I've made all that much progress on the plan. I think I want to go back to the tribe. I think I want to go back to the tribe of the Green Mountain. I want to present them with a thing. I want to try to get their permission to go to their island. I don't know what will happen if we go to the island without their permission. Maybe it won't even be a big deal, but I'm worried, and I think it's probably pretty understandable. And we found a cask of amber liquid, like we found a thing that is very clearly something they'd be into. I'm hoping to just buy their affection, basically. So it is day 34. What I'm thinking is we go to Gale Rocks. At Gale Rocks, we can bathe, get cleaned up. We ride back to Foggy's if Foggy's is the best we can do. We might be able to make it back to the Watchtower. We probably won't be able to make it back to Eudocia's place, sadly. But we just do our best. We hit the Tribe of the Green Mountain tomorrow, and then we ride west after that, and this is where we conclude all of our business. We're getting really close to the timer, and it makes me very nervous. But there's not really a good place to get a bath over here, like a proper bath. Yeah, let's ride up to Gale Rocks. Right, because we could wash ourselves... Hold on. We could wash ourselves in the river at Creeks. My clothes are fucked up, but we can repair them tonight. Character sheet. Yeah, and I'm at 0 of 3 cleanliness. You will do so. You will wash yourself more efficiently with your special equipment. Does the... where's my like bathing equipment? Because like we have the soap. I'm wondering if the perfume is just also for a point of additional ability to clean self. We have an incredible tool of destruction that hopefully will be useful. Our travel set. Yep, contains our stuff to help us stay clean. So presumably somewhere there's one more cleaning yourself item. I'm wondering if maybe I don't need to go all the way back up to Gale Rocks, because going to Gale Rocks costs kind of a lot of time. Whereas if we could just go to Creeks, wash ourselves in the river, and have that be good enough, then we're much more likely to be able to actually make it like down to a good place to sleep. Let's go to Creeks. All right, I approach the shallow creek. Yeah, Okash soap and perfume you own can help you get cleaner. My clothes are completely fucked. Yeah, we need to like really. Okay. Also, I jump into the stream, clean as I can get. Okay. Hour 45 left. That was a lot, actually. Hey, Ephraim. No, not that. Sorry. Is it Ila? Ila, I did do some things on the Eastern Path that you might want to pay me for. I restored the brook ford that connects the Eastern Road with the heart of the forest, which I know to be an important task because it says so down here. Hi, I know the place. I don't think we're going to see that many wagons going through there in the next few seasons, but it must have been quite a few hours of work for a single shell, and quite close to the beasts. You realize he's not as much addressing you as thinking out loud while reaching for the wooden case. His fingers play with the contents for a bit, until he takes 2 dragon bones out of it. One for the labor, another one for the threat. You must say, not too bad for carrying rocks. You know what? That's fine. Also, I'm surprised you keep finding something to do. This land really is a mess. Yes, it fucking is. The watchtower also is clear, kind of. I bug bombed it real good. That's a relief. He reaches for the case so quickly that he misestimates the distance. It falls on the ground with a clatter like a fistful of dice, and instead of collecting everything right away, he picks up 2 of the dragon bones that are rolling toward him. I need to make another one anyway, he says to himself, and pays you, asking about the place. You mentioned the bugs, the barrels, the moisture. Once you describe the broken door, the man sighs. So we can't hide there for long. I'll need to build a new door myself, but I have no iron for a lock. And it was quite an expensive balm, you know. The one for the bugs? I give him a meaningful look. I'm sorry to say that, but you've wasted your time. His voice is hesitant. And without the entrance, many awful creatures may hide there now, insect empresses included. And this is all the message is worth for me. All right, I'll take them. I'll let you know if there's anything else. Let's talk about the patrols you want to pay me for? What's the matter, friend? Well, I know from old Hava that your tribe needs your contact with Foggy more than I need your coin. 2 dragons for a day isn't enough. Oh, apparently I'm playing hardball about a thing I don't care about. Okay. Do we want to try to... We may still be able to get that spear. I'm going to hold off on this one more time. So we ended up spending a ton of time here. But I think it's... Yeah, it's still too late to get... So the best thing we can do at this point is go back to Foggy Lake. And then... Oof, it is such a long time to ride there. It eats such a time. But there's not really much else we can do, it seems like. Hey Tzvi, are we still 26? Yeah, so it goes down by a coin for each point of appearance I have. I'll let you know. So maximum cleanliness, but my clothes are fucked. Solvable. So an hour 15. All right. Inventory. First things first. Let's fix my clothing. Once you're done, you spend a few minutes hiding your sewing kit. I'm not allowed to put a point on my gambeson as well. I was hoping that if we did the lower cost thing first, we'd be able to do both. All right. I have something to eat. And then we just got to sleep here. And we do this one, which gets us at least a point of vitality back. I'm going to try to not spend my healing potion. 5 days left. If the peninsula hides any more secrets, you may not have enough time left to unravel them. I know. I have no idea what the effect of these different things is going to be. I'm going to click safety comes first because I want to get the full rest. I want to get my point of vitality. And I'm not sure. That may not have been what was at risk there, but I don't know. Do I want to buy more meals? Or do I just want to get riding? Because it takes a little while to eat here. I can't get back to full vitality, so we can't get the other point of appearance. Yeah, I mean... We'll probably be able to eat one now and then another one on the way back around. Maybe we end up wanting to go south, actually. I'm not going to do it now. Time for me to go. I go outside. All right. Let's just move fast. It takes forever. All right. Enter the cave. While Cephas is already waiting for you, he asks you to wait a few minutes. When Guyenne shows up, she coughs a bit, but welcomes you with a warm smile and sits down on the trunk, letting out a loud, relaxed sigh. She spreads her stones on the fabric, moving them with great care. I have more questions about High Island. I'm willing to offer you a gift as a sign of my goodwill. Since cider is an unknown word in the tribe, you describe it as sweet apple beer and warn them that it won't stay fresh for long. Oh, we could open it after the harvest, says the chief, and the shaman smiles in agreement. Someone young may get inspired. That's a weird thing to... You can see it outside is also a weird thing to say here, but I think that's how I give it to them. Okay. Finishing the transaction takes a good few minutes since you have to get to Agro, show Cephas what you have. Gaian refused to join you. Then return to the cave. Oh, right, because I'm not carrying the cask into the cave. That makes sense. That's why I said that. Once the Saurian rider takes your gift, the other locals discuss their new possession enthusiastically. Okay, so I would still appreciate your permission to search the island? The chief observes your hands while rubbing his own, dried and covered with scars. You wanted to turn into a pyre for Roadwardens. The shaman's voice is like a touch of dew. If you land there, bring us Hysterian or your own tale, Samhain, or we'll not forgive you. Her tone carries no question, no request. Okay, is there something that could help me explore the island? The second generation that lived on this mountain knew it would one day forget its homeland. Gaian pauses, observing a young woman adding wood to the fire. I built the statue of a spirit that protected us from the flames of the Green Mountain, the sleeping giant. I still hold the key to the island. Okay, I know about the giant. Do I have anything? No, I still don't have anything they want for the horn. Okay, well, I am pretty happy about that then. Let's leave. So, riding back to the Pelt takes 5:45. It's slightly faster to go north. How much time do I have left? 8:45. Okay. I think we want to ride to the peat fields and tell Thyrsis what we did to the bandits. What we did about the bandits is maybe the better way to put it. And then that way we're close to the monastery and we can deliver the quills, I don't know, probably the next day? Time is really running short. Okay, to the peat fields. A tiny vole, as brown as the short grasses, is washing its fur at the edge of a puddle, but jumps into it once it notices your arrival. Thyrsis is at the edge of the scarp, greeting you with a polite nod. The creepers idly hang from his arms, resting on the ground. Hey man, you owe me. You discuss the recent events, and while the man lets out a grim sigh, he then crouches, shortening the distance between your eyes. Well, you had my word. I'll await your call. I'm heading for High Island. I want to take you with me, just for a single night. This is what I was hoping we'd be able to do. Good, his amulets rattle. I hate having vague debts to pay. Come once you need me, and let's be done with this quickly. Yeah, fucking cool. That rules. I don't know for sure that we're ever going to make another healing potion, but I also don't think that we're going to need every coin we have. Yeah, so now travel. So I can't make it to Howler's Dell. The only thing we can do is get back to Foggy's. We have exactly enough time to get back to Foggy's. In which case, I'm probably glad I have that wound wart. I enter the tavern, I go downstairs to the alchemy set, and I make myself a healing potion. Hell yeah. Second healing potion, big deal. It's too late to do this stuff? Yep. Okay, that's fine. We'll get our Gambeson repaired soon. Approach Foggy. At this point, Foggy will make me a meal, so we should probably just go ahead and do that. It's already late, so you devour everything in front of you. Yep, I sure do. And then I sleep here. We do this one. Damn it. Not happy about it being rainy. But we're on our way to... Yeah, we're on our way to the place. Days are getting shorter. I'd like to eat, please. would I like to eat again? Because, like, we may as well max out? Yeah, I don't think we're ever coming back to Foggy's. So, it's time for me to go. Thank you. Travel. If we go to the monastery, end the day in Howler's Dell, spend the next day doing the thing? Yeah, I think so. All right. To the monastery. To make some money and deliver some quills. A carcass of an ibex floats down the river, nervously followed by rooks. They eat it one dab at a time. There's no soul in sight. From the mountain comes a cheerful singing of a woman, though you can't understand a single word. You call the monks by hitting the sticks, and the drawbridge lowers. Ailey gestures for you to enter the storage house with his bandaged hand. Warden, he nods. Is all right? Yeah. About the things you asked me to do. Here are your quills. He reaches for the case with his bandaged hands and opens it gently. Yep, our deal was about a good word. Please put in good words that I can, like, yeah, you'll let the prelate know. Cool, great. I took a closer look at those golems. You described their looks and mentioned the unusual engravings you noticed on the larger rocks. Ailey listens carefully, but it takes him a few heartbeats to respond. Such signs may be dangerous. He wipes his lips with his bandaged hand. I've read about the city golems. They're different. We may need help from an experienced fighter, but we lack such souls in the order. He finally lowers his hand, observing a child who hums a simple melody at the edge of the cliff. How much do I want to give him? I wanted to get enough to potentially be able to, like, speak to their prelate or, you know, just learn more about what's up. But I don't actually want to disadvantage Eudocia in this area. Like, when it comes to the future of the peninsula, I think Eudocia is better for the place than the monks are. I did speak with her about her sentinels. Your report takes you a good few minutes, especially since Ailey spares you no questions. After you mention that the golems are meant to be available for purchase, he gives Decima a worried look. Oh, she's inviting a dragon, he says in the end. He walks up and down the path with hands behind his back, like a commander preparing themselves for a battle. No tribe could stop a squad of these. Most troubling news. Awful. I'm gonna tell him everything. She doesn't intend to use the golems against... I don't think it'll matter. I don't think it will do any harm, and it may do me some good. Ailey's eyes are wide open. He and Decima exchange telling glances. He rubs his bandaged hand. If those signs work, who knows what kind of words she can select next. His voice is tense but hoarse, forcing him to cough. Take supplies, maybe? Hunt humans? Okay, dude, you're kind of flying off the handle here, but listen, I've told you all I know about the creatures. He spares you a kind smile. You did. I'll speak with the prelate soon. Let me know when thou art ready to collect thy reward. I would like to collect my reward, please. A secret? What overwhelms thee? The thing is, he doesn't know anything about Hysterian that I don't know. And I also don't believe he knows anything about High Island that I don't know. So I think we're just asking the middle bit. What is it that you really do in this place? He raises his bandaged palm. We worship and we work. If there's aught more to say, our most trusted allies will learn all about it. I refuse to answer. Okay, well then tell me about High Island. Again, I don't think they know anything, but I know they don't know anything about where Hysterian is that I don't know. Art thou asking me for a history lesson? He looks you in the eyes. Or is that where thou art heading next? A bit of both, you put simply, and he clears his throat. Then I'll not bore myself with the details. Thou canst see the island from the coast. It's the largest scrap of land that can be reached in a few hours, though it's easier said than done. Ships can't cross the waters from here to there, while a boat won't reach the top of the cliffs that surround it. It sticks out from the ocean like a rock, thou seest, and is as wild as the deepest woods. He rubs his hand. A single tribe used to live there, the tribe of the Green Mountain. They were thrown away by the army of Havlavan, crushed. But there used to be days, centuries ago, when they were trading with other northerners. He looks you in the eyes, making sure you're listening. Reach the eastern coast, or the wall of High Island, in the middle of the night when the water is at its highest. A waterfall there, who knows which one, hides a cave that used to serve as a harbor for fishers. With some rope, you can climb up the rocks. A long pause. A few souls tried to reach the volcano in the heart of the island, for some say it hides the treasure of the tribe. This place is but a grave now, the lair of beasts. Now be wise, and never use what I told you. I'll think about not having used what I told you. You know what I mean. Okay, this should be fine. I want to tell Quintus that we dealt with Glossia, you know? The long shadow cast by the crags protects you from the sun. Quintus looks at you from the top of the precipice that's near the tower. He crosses the parapet and leans forward. Salutations, Warden. You hear about the gate? Well, I'm here about some other things. I bring good news from old Pagos. The plague is no more. What? He leans back. Say again? When you repeat, he tilts his head back and puts hands on his waist, bursting in laughter, though his voice is still shaking. Tell me all. He has little patience, constantly throwing more questions at you. About the druid, his plan, your gifts for the magic tree. He's far from happy when he hears about the prolonged seclusion. No, I guess it's fair. I'll stay here for some more time. I don't want to mess stuff up like... I'm not as dumb as a bird. You know how birds are. He smiles again. Thank you, Warden. Your soul carries duty like no other. Yeah. Have you ever heard about High Island? I heard all right. You can see its volcano from old Pagos. The monks said it's a weird place, but also a tale for the worthy. You ask him if he knows this tale, and he glances in the direction of his home. Nah. Okay. I was kind of hoping to, like I said, to be able to tell him about Glossia. It looks like I can't. We could fix his Gambason, which I guess is a thing worth doing. We're real close to Howlers, right? Yeah, I could spend an hour here. That's no big deal. Hey, do you need any help with that Gambason? It looks kind of fucked. With these repair tools, we could fix it together in about an hour. Are you serious? He leans forward, looking you in the eyes, then makes a confident nod. Let's get to it. Quintus turns out to know a thing or two about jackets and sewing. He gives you a few words of advice, turns his backup shirt into padding, and holds his jacket in ways that allow you to work in peace. When he puts on his restored armor, he lets out a strong laugh. Great, great. But what am I to give you now? He looks around and raises his finger. You want an arrow for a crossbow? They're not so easy to get. I still have 7, don't I? I don't think I need it, and I would rather him feel ingratiated. I don't really need it, thanks. If you say so. I'm bad at shooting anyway. I wait for beasts to get really close first. Hey, do you know Eudocia the Enchantress? I was wondering if you could place this in your tower for her? You unpack and show him the rod. Oh, lighter than it looks, he says quietly. I'll squeeze it into a crack. You already helped my people, and I know Eudocia. She always does aught weird. She was a quiet kid, but a smart one. Never tried to steal my milk. You just leave it to me. Yeah, about your duty. Okay, here we go. The people of Gale Rocks are not going to support Glossia any longer. Her role in the peninsula will dwindle. He looks around and reaches toward his bandage, raising it like a mask. Did you do this? You start to explain, and his voice lowers to a whisper. No, don't bother. I don't follow all this anyway. All I need to say is that this land needed someone like you. After a long pause, he lets out a weak sigh. Fine, I'll gather my things, leave the gate open, and get moving tomorrow morning. I paid enough blood for my duty. A long pause. But I'm now in your debt, and I'm ready to enter the woods to repay it. Find me in the inn if you need my help. So is he gonna go to... He's gonna go to the Pelt. Do you want me to escort you? Nah, no need. I'll stay away from the cursed tree in the ruins. The paths won't... through paths you won't follow on a horse. Thanks, though. Yeah. I don't actually need him to open the gate. I was kind of hoping once I told him about the thing that I'd be able to recruit him for our little journey. I am not sure if I can make it to the Pelt tomorrow. It's 3 hours and 30 minutes. Our money is still good here, right? They're still cool with me staying here. Yeah, let's head down to Howlersdale. Some of the locals greet you politely, but after, they keep their distance. After you notice your own smell and the dirt on your clothes, you no longer wonder why. Yeah, that's fair. To the main square. So what? We could just pay for Gambeson repairs. I don't need to do the repairs myself. Yeah, I think we can just, because we can do one repair tonight, and then we could do another repair, probably like actually on the island at some point. Although it might be good to get a repair from her and then do another repair ourselves so that it's at 3, and then have the ability to repair it again after it takes some damage on the island. Yeah. All right, I think I'm gonna. We're supposed to have some money. Remember, I was going to try to have some money at the end of the game for the person back home who is sick. I have wealth. I have, like, goods. Oh, they might want... Hold on. We should go talk to Akakios. Head to the main square. Hey, Akakios. I bring goods to sell. One of my neighbors wants her daughter to carve a dice set for her games, but we're not in dire need of antlers. I already have a deal with the innkeep from Pelt, and also we hunt on our own. I'll give you a single ring for it. Well, I don't think we're going to get a better price at the Pelt because they can get their own antlers, so I think I'll take that. Deal. I don't think we're going to do any better. And then... Are we down to just the one rod? Have we gotten all of the others placed? No, we have 2. Okay. What was he offering? 2 rings for one? Should we... I guess we can cut... We'll be back. We'll be back. I don't need to decide this now. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a good idea to place one on the island. So, with that being the case, I say... I walk away. I think I am just going to repair my own Gambeson. Pretty sure that's how I'm going to manage it. Because I'm just, like, very nervous about having enough money for the end, you know? This is a thing we can think about when we get back. Is there anything to say to Elpis? You enter the building site, which has changed quite a bit since the last day of your visit. Elpis is standing in the middle of the yard, surrounded by her companions, yet she needs a few breaths to collect her thoughts. We are glad to see you, Roadwarden. Her eyes make you think of a sky just after a heavy rain. The forest speaker had put us into shame, and we've discussed his words and deeds. Her voice is slow, but you catch its hesitation. We're grateful that the village of Old Pagos will share the next summer with us. The lack of the seed will be a burden, but it will bring us brighter days. Listen, I need your help. I know where I can find Hysterian, but my journey will be difficult. Once you tell her about the island, she puts her left index finger on her lips, thinking. You assisted us in keeping our village safe from greed. You protected us from the plague, even though you had to sacrifice the sacred fruit. We do not care for this man, but we see you as our ally, and wish you well. Come and see me before you leave. My soul will heal your wounds and strengthen your shell. We're actually going to gain a point of vitality tonight when we sleep in town here, so I don't need that. I'll come to you later when I need your powers. I seek knowledge about High Island. There's a lightning in her blue eyes, and while the other druids give you suspicious looks, they say nothing. I wish I could teach you, but the truth is, she swallows, and you notice a hint of shame in her voice. I do not know much about that place. There's but one forest speaker who carries this old tale, and 'tis the elder living in the cave in the south. Ask him. With every word, she puts more of her weight on her staff. To do me a favor, and teach you what I can. Okay, so we did talk to him about it already. If I remember correctly, he told us... We've got 3 people coming with us. I think this is kind of a weird crew, but I don't know what exactly... Oh, Thyrsus isn't on the list. Well, hopefully he'll still come with us. I want to say... Did he tell us to... He told us about the caves at the water, right? And I think he said the northern one is the one to go to. I really wish that was in the journal. Hopefully our character remembers it well. Okay, so it doesn't seem like I need to do anything else here. I am going to do some repairs to my gambeson. Oh, okay, we can just repair it twice tonight because it didn't take us all that long. We're getting pretty good at repairing it, so we're getting faster. All right, we sleep at the inn. We're going to be in pretty good shape in the morning. Okay. I leave the square. And let's do it, right? How early do I need to go? I was kind of curious. Like, is there anything else I could jam in before we do it? Early morning hours. Okay, we probably just got to go right there. We have 2 healing potions. We have a crew. I can't imagine there being anything else to do. Let's do it. The boat awaits you at the coast. You need to take exactly 4 people with you, and so far, 4 souls would be willing to join you. I did not realize we had to have precisely 4. It's a good thing we got there. I was hoping we'd be able to get Quintus too, but to leave with the crew, you need to start preparations in the morning. Before leaving, better make sure you're well prepared to face the unknown. Yeah, I gather my crew. Agidia, the free-spirited archeress. Pyros, the scavenging crossbowman. Oh, we can pull Quintus. And Thyrsus, the plant-bending warlock. Okay. Wait, was there somebody else? No, this is it. Because I didn't buy Tzvi's services because he's way expensive. I didn't get Ephron to come with us because I didn't get the dragon horn, so I couldn't get the spear. Yeah, this seems right. All right. Let's see what this is like. I have to imagine Thyrsus is going to be useful in Strange Wilderness, right? Quintus shoves the boat into the water. You take a deep breath of the chilling air. You adjust your clothes, but even their second layer is barely enough to keep you warm in the breeze. You stare into the night and listen to the roaring waves. The seagulls jump between the teeth-like rocks, seeking food and rest. You look around. Agro is hidden inside Agidia's cabin, but you doubt it's going to have a good sleep. You turn toward the others. If you've got any questions, now's a good moment to ask them. Thyrsus wraps his creepers around his arms. Oh, don't let me start. I've got all the questions. How about turning back, murmurs Pyros. You get in the boat and grab the planks, not used to the swaying. We do ancestor worship, right? That's a thing? I think I decided that that's a thing that we do. I ask my ancestors for guidance. I am very curious if those little internal choices do anything at all. The first few minutes are the slowest. You push off the sharp rocks with the oars, and even your arms, but the restless waves charge at the boat again and again. Above the dark, salty waters, through the bright night, you can see the outline of High Island. You get used to the rhythm of rowing. Your allies are focused on the struggle at hand. Rowing will be harsh. Better to take turns. The waves in the deeper waters get tall enough to splash your lips. But that's when the harpies take their chance. The pack, a few monsters strong, lowers their flight, seeking an opportunity to strike. Their fluttering, bat-like wings try to oppose the wind. The creatures are smaller than goblins, with ape-like features and talons that make you think of a parrot. It's too dark to tell the color of their fur. I am absolutely going to employ my crossbow. I'm saving the blinding powder. I'm expecting megafauna. Yeah, crossbow. After your quarrel hits a harpy's hip, the creature tries to fly for a bit longer, but soon crashes into the water and disappears beneath the surface. The other beasts, confused at first, get even closer. Pyros? Oh yeah, that's right. Agidia's also right. She's an archeress. I was just thinking crossbows, but right, she has a normal bow as well. Agidia's arrows cause havoc and keep you safe for another few breaths. The shells of harpies hit the water, only to get dragged away by the waves. The remaining members of the pack take no more chances. They spread in various directions, seeking shelter among the tusk-like rocks. All right, great job, everyone. Try to keep spirits high. After rowing for an hour or so, we got a new thing. Okay, just our ability to fight creatures leveled up, I guess. After rowing for an hour or so, you leave the coastal rocks behind. The fierce waterfall ahead won't be too difficult to reach, but if it's not the spot that hides the old harbor, the wasted effort and cold winds will surely exhaust you before you find it. You look north. There's another waterfall there, a much gentler one. I think the druid told us to go to the north waterfall, didn't he? Journal... Places, High Island. According to Photios, go, yeah, that. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just not remembering it. I mean, the northern waterfall is gentler. Let's head for the northern water. I think I remember this. My memory is really bad, but it's really bad in a very uneven way. Sometimes details really stick, but I never know if I'm having one of those moments or if I'm having one of the other ones. Let's head for the northern waterfall. 15 long minutes go by, and the roar of the waterfall devours all other sounds. Here, the wall of the island isn't as flat as it seemed to be from afar, and the tide lets you reach a few high ledges, flat and wide enough for a boat. Even though it's dark, you recognize some old wooden beams, as well as a few copper rods, remnants of an old structure. There's another boat, or rather a small chunk of it, tied to a post just a few steps away from you. All of you get out and scrape the hull against the ash-colored rocks. Let's prepare the ropes. The cave behind the waterfall is maybe 30 feet above you, but getting to it will take some effort. The ancient stairs and handrails have mostly fallen apart, and the slippery rocks are nothing less than a trap. Well, this bone hook will make it much easier. I'm going to try not to call upon the others more than I have to. Like, this is the whole reason we brought the bone hook, right? You give it a shot. Not only does the hook allow you to climb up the rope, it also helps you test the durability of the bronze rails and sticking out roots of the plants. You reach the higher spots of the wall quickly, followed by the rest of the group. Thyrsis, put these creepers to use? Sure. He stretches them out, so we just use as many tricks as we can, basically. He stretches them out, not only easily grasping the nearest roots and broken stairs, but also supporting your back as you try to move. That's extremely helpful. Is this a good thing to do? I don't know that we want to do this. I think just time to climb. This feels shitty to Quintus, and I don't know that it's really all that helpful, because I think I'm in better shape than Quintus is. Yeah, no more tricks. Time to climb. With the bright night on your side, you look for ledges to support you and avoid the shining wet rocks. Finally, you pull yourself up into the dark mouth of the cave, the remains of the original stream. I light up a torch and examine the area. The stream roars above you. You light up a torch. I just did that. The long, dark tunnel is moist and full of bats, which, surprised by your presence, flee into the deeper corridors. Well, even the stairs were in better shape than this spot. Agidia's voice is solemn. At least my backup strings are dry. The remains of the harbor aren't any more dignified than a pillaged hamlet. The mold and insects spared only a few scraps of wood, while the scavengers scraped clean any pieces of steel and copper. You run your eyes over the spread stone tools and the scratches left by dragged carts and hulls. Ahead is a brick wall with no door or hinges. Pyrrhus unpacks his belongings and prepares a bunch of fine torches. Will last us a few hours, eh? We should get going. I prepare my equipment and get ready to reach the surface. For a few more minutes, you walk by the remnants of the past dwellers. Scraps of fabric, stone bowls, a spot with broken chairs and a table. You walk past a few anxious bats and salamanders, and plenty of spots from which water drips into the tunnel. Sooner or later, the stream will break through one of the countless cracks and reclaim its old bed. You freeze when your light touches the black and creamy fur of a beast. Not sure if you should run, you give the monster a chance to turn its boulder-like head, capped with a single horn the size of an adult human. The creature may be as large and heavy as a house, but its eyes open one at a time, slowly, as if they haven't decided if you're really here. I look left and right. The creature almost fills up the width of the tunnel. Your crew looks paralyzed, with eyes wide open. You lower your voice to a whisper. Who do I think is the most skilled with fighting giant monsters? Pyrrhus knows how to fight small stuff. Thyrsis, I don't think of as much of a fighter. Quintus, maybe? Quintus has probably seen some shit. Quintus, any ideas? He pays you no attention, too afraid to move. Fucking, alright, I'll handle it. It blinks, observing your torch. We can attempt to engage with it as friends. Raise our open palms and say, oh, nice cave you got here. I'll just walk by, alright? Reach toward its horn and ask who's a sleepy nightmare monster. Just try to walk around it like a normal person, shout at it, or appear vulnerable. Well, here's the thing I know about wild animals. One does not wish to appear vulnerable to them. I'm gonna try the friendly approach. Hands up. Okay, nice, good creature. We're just gonna squeeze past, okay? You talk for a bit longer until the unicorn lowers its head. That was a unicorn, huh? The description, I don't know, didn't make me think of a unicorn. Until the unicorn lowers its head and lets out a loud snort, hitting you with the air from its nostrils. You take a step closer, then walk around the creature's bear-worthy fur. Before you get behind its rear, you have to put your boot on a rock to step over the outstretched leg. The beast returns to sleep, while your allies look at you as if you're crazy, but obediently follow your command. And I lead them toward the exit. I can't believe that worked. Only a few boulders separate you from the deep woods. The song of the sea and the hum of the stream are overshadowed by the screeches of beasts and their prey. While there are some rusty remains of an old cart, and the gentle slope was carved by tools, it leads you toward a wall of shrubs and creepers. You get on top of a large rock. There are no roads in sight, but you spot a humble trail made by hooves and paws. The worried looks of your crew are as lost as you are. However, I'm not quite that lost. I think about the map from the giant statue. While the path doesn't lead directly to the volcano, it matches the ancient trail of stars that's meant to take you to the main road. If it still exists. Alright, come with me, follow in the game trail. It may be narrow, but proves to be firm and straight. The plants that surround it grow from the remnants of the old road, hardened with rocks. An owl gives your group a curious glance from a branch above your heads. After a few minutes, you reach what seems to be a proper trail, beaten, wider than a wagon, and leading both toward the volcano and away from it. Among the thicket, you spot the remains of the stone wall, long since collapsed. Okay, for now we stick to this route. The further trail is canopied by overhanging trees, blocking the moonlight. You hear panicked hooves and flapping wings, but you can hardly see anything. Pyrrhus raises a few of the torches he prepared. If you've nothing better than this, we should light them up. Well, I do in fact have a lantern and it's covered, so this is probably a slightly stealthier way to advance. You grab your tinderbox, crouch down, and after a few breaths, shove the lit candle into the frame. You stand up and shake the lantern. It holds. You move on, free of the limits of the night sky as the yellow glimmer dances on the leaves. I really like this sequence as a test of all of the wilderness preparedness that you have done so far. Alright, just pay attention to the sounds. The familiar yells of howlers fill up the path ahead. The monkeys are moving among the tree crowns, barely visible, and the longer you're around, the greater the pain thumping inside your skull. Their territory is vast, and they don't need to attack to wound you. We could fight. We could just shoot them. Howlers. Hold on. Gonna use brain. Gonna do brain stuff. Their furs are often beautiful. They don't have impressive claws or teeth. Their meat is seen as unsavory. Yes, they're not particularly good fighters or anything. I'm gonna shoot one. You pull the trigger and your target lets out a scream as it falls into the lush bushes. If you can, shoot them! Agidia is fast, but just barely scratches one of the jumping monkeys, though it's enough to throw it into a panic. Pyrrhus waits for a bit, then sends a quarrel into a howler's chest, pinning it to a tree trunk. You look around. As the number of monkeys dwindles, their noises don't bother you as much. You take a few steps down the road and the remains of the pack move back, letting you through. Now or never. Run! The relief is short-lived. The pond ahead is swarmed with buzzing insects, and, judging by the bones of a dragonling you see on the bank, they're as hungry as they are numerous. The only road ahead leads through them, and you may lack the strength to walk around their feeding ground. Alright, I pull out the sting ointment. Let's get to it. Bugs hate this shit. Also, you are not going to enjoy wearing it. The scent of lavender, mint, and basil blends into the humid wilderness. Actually, that doesn't sound so bad. I thought I remembered the sting ointment being stinky, but I guess not, maybe. Your group covers every ounce of their skin and wraps themselves up with scraps of fabric, but waits for you to enter the cloud of wings first. Thanks, guys. The creatures split in front of you, forming a dark tunnel. Their loud wings shine in the moonlight. Through the gaps between them, I see the hills and the volcano above. You reach a humble valley. The trees here are sparse, and the stream, while gentle, has completely distorted the path. At least the moonlight can guide you. The black saurians, covered with yellow spots, are too numerous to count, laying just a few steps away from one another, from the grasses to the branches. Most of them are asleep, but a few of the closer ones give you curious glances, sticking out and hiding their forked tongues rapidly. The beasts aren't massive, maybe 2 steps long. You look to the sides. The hills are impassable. Examine the surroundings. You vaguely recognize the shape of fruit trees and shrubs, but no animals seem to browse on them. You crouch down. The road is marked with fresh prints left by various creatures. We could try to just move by them. We really don't know that much about saurians. Some of them are hunted for meat. Larger ones attack humans. Yeah, okay. We essentially don't know anything. Thersis, I wouldn't imagine, would have any reason to know about these things. Pyros? We can't feed this many stomachs, and we can't shoot this many thinkers. I don't know. Quintus, how about you? I'm good at running. Are you? He looks around. It's not like we can fight them. Yeah. I don't have a ton of food, and I don't have any fruit or anything. I just have that one ration that I'm a little leery to give them. Agidia? Yeah. No fighting them. No fighting them for sure. Alright, it'll be better for us to stay on the main path and just go fast. If we run, they'll chase us, right, though? That may not be a thing in this game. I definitely feel like that's a thing with real wild animals. You don't want to run. You want to seem like you have no reason to fear them, because they trust your judgment in a weird sort of way. Alright, let's not draw their attention. We'll just move by them slowly. It worked on the unicorn. Your careful steps are greeted with hisses, but the beasts either stay in their spots, not bothering you as you walk around them, or move out of your way, crossing the stream. A few of them don't even wake up. The valley once again turns into lush forest. The path here is even narrower than it was before. I glance up at the volcano. We're halfway there. The path ahead is overtaken by the thicket, but the fatigue is catching up with you. The remains of a hamlet have no dwellers other than rats and snakes. We should rest here, you say to your companions. You find a flat rock, cover it with your cloak, and let yourself sit idly for a bit before you open your bags. You may not find another time to have a few bites of food. Agidia sits by the ruined tower by herself, wipes her forehead with a cloth, and takes her boots off. Thersis spends a few minutes looking through the amulets hanging from his neck. His creepers rest on the ground, twitching every now and then. He's such a weird dude. I'm so glad he came with us. Pyros clasps his hands and looks around, announcing loudly that he's going to start a fire, but after he fails to find any dry wood, he takes off his shirt and sits by the entrance. Any chances we found ancient mead storage? Mumbles Quintus, then sits down on the ground, leaning against a tree. I look up at the night sky, seeking a sign from my ancestors. Wow. Long minutes go by and your breath gets slower, your eyes sharper. Among the stars and clouds, you see the shapes of your tribe's home. Your exhausted questions and requests turn to certainty. You can do this, a voice in the wind tells you, sending chills down your spine. We gained 2 vitality there. I didn't need it, but we did gain it. I try to figure out what these ruins used to be. Judging by the stone wall and the now collapsed tower, it could have served as shelter for 24 humans at once. There are no remains of any sheds, working stations, or tools, and you see nothing unusual about the surrounding rocks and plants. I look at Agidia. She returns your gaze and gives you a kind smile. She's ready for the next challenge. I glance at Thersis. After collecting his amulets, he winks at you and drinks something from a small flask. Ready when you are. Pyros? He glances at you. Huh? I'm alright. Quintus, you still alive? Duh. He mutters while looking into his bag, then smiles at you. It's easier than I thought. And good thing I brought no crossbow to slow me down. I can't see shit. You want to take the quarrels I forgot to unpack? All right, he gave us 2 more arrows. These are the quarrels I didn't take from him earlier. I let my back and limbs rest for a bit, then prepare my tools to cut through the bushes. Time to carry on. You climb to the top of the wall and get a look ahead. The trail must have overgrown only recently, but the thorny bushes won't be crossed easily. Reaching the beaten track that leads to the proper woods will take some effort. Yeah, I don't think I do need the withering dust anymore. I think if there was any use for it on the mainland, we would have seen it by now. I mean, we did see it, but we dealt with it before we actually got the dust. I'm just going to go ahead and empty the withering dust into this area. Fuck thorny bushes. After covering your skin and drawing a mug full of stream water, you spread the poison on the ground step by step and form a passage of twisted burnt stems, still hissing as you move them to the side with your boot. Once you reach the next section of the old road, you take off your thick gloves. And make sure there are no thorns stuck in your pants, everyone. The road goes straight forward, suddenly getting much wider. The ground is surrounded with collapsed branches, trampled seedlings, and dead roe deer. But, judging by the beaten path and the pebbles under the surface, this trail is as old as the previous ones. I think about the map from the giant statue. You've no doubt that this trail is the main road to the volcano, but it's not the only route. According to the stars portrayed on the statue, there should be a shortcut somewhere around here, narrower but more direct. Yeah, let's see if we see it. Behind a few fallen trunks, you find the remnants of the path. The rotten, dug-in wooden stairs leading up the hill offer no support, but there's plenty of paw prints on the ground and claw marks on the trees. It's now a convenient game trail. Okay, hey everybody, let's see if this path is clear. The narrow, twisted path takes you to a creek, then down the human-carved tunnel leading through a rocky hill. The closer you are to the volcano, the more signs of humans you find. The abandoned tools, the overgrown fences and fire holes, the fruit trees and trimmed centuries-old oaks. The ribbon of smoke hides the stars behind it, though you still can't smell it. The mountain's upper half is black and gray from cold lava and ashes, while the lower half is mostly green, with short but lush trees and thriving flowers bathing in the moonlight. You see the shape of an open gate at the end of the road. Yeah, this is it, the path to the volcano. The stone posts are dark from dust, but as good as new, even though the crooked planks of the wooden leaves are beyond restoration. Seeing nothing on the top of the wall, you enter the partially buried ruins, with humble buildings sticking out from the layers spit out by the volcano. It takes only a few breaths before the first enemy jumps on the road from the roof of a ruined hut, and your crew prepares their weapons. It's a head shorter than you and walks on its hind legs, but has the head of a raccoon, though its ears are too small, the fangs too long, and the eyes resemble those of an ape. Despite its human-like posture, it leans slightly forward, with arms curled up. It has no tail, and keeps sniffing as if it barely sees you. Next is the boar-headed beast, with 2 sets of remarkable tusks and bristles instead of puffy fur. Then they're joined by 2 long-tailed rat folks, and a fox folk, and a lizard folk. Let's be gentle. Do not startle them, whispers Agidia with a trembling voice. Is this like did we stumble into the Knights of Wundagore? What is happening here? I look for the leader of the pack. The tallest one of them all is the beast with deer antlers. It steps forward and crouches down, touching the ground with an open palm. It doesn't make a sound, just pierces you with its almost human eyes. Its pack blocks the twisty path forward that is carved in the mountainside, narrow and completely open from one side. You think of the tales taught to all children in the Dragonwoods. The beast folk may be destructive, but if not threatened, they're willing to trade. You've got some food you could offer, but seeing their numbers, you doubt they're going to accept such a humble offering. Okay, we've got no supplies. We should go back to the other path. The beasts stay in the ruined village. You follow the narrow side path, reaching a lone tower made of stone, though seeing how most of the loose bricks are on the outside of the structure, It could have been a hollow building used to lower down boulders from the platforms at the top. You roll up your sleeves and stretch out your arms. It may be an endeavor, but you can do this. Well? I want to be gentle with the tool of destruction. The perfect opportunity to use the bone hook. You don't put enough trust in the structure to simply climb up the rope, but it secures you as you get higher. Alright, I'm gonna try it. Hopefully we won't do too much damage to the place. I'll use the tool of destruction to shape my path. You shatter the bricks or break into the mountainside whenever you find no spot to rest your hands or feet. I look at my crew. What do you say? Bit more effort and we're there? They may be tired, but they give you encouraging nods and get to work, helping you reach the tougher spots. Once you get to the top of the tower, you easily reach the collapsing wooden platform. After pulling yourself up a few more times, you're on the ground, gasping for air. There are no monsters in sight, just the trail forward. And I immediately make sure the others are safe. We care about this a great deal. The howling wind pushes your crew up the short path, between the tufts of grass, sparse yellow flowers, dormant ashes, and trails of cold lava. Your legs, unused to such long wayfaring, and especially such vertical wayfaring, ache. Egidia kneels down on the poorly lit ground. "Oh, someone was here long ago," she says, "but went only in one direction." I follow them slowly, looking out for animals. There aren't many signs of past dwellers. The burnt cart, the collapsed shed, the digging tools made of antler or rusty steel. The trail ends at the cave mouth. The leaves of the gate are made of stone, now ajar. You push aside the battering ram. "Less work for us," chuckles Quintus. I drop my heavy bags on the ground. "All right, be ready to fight in narrow corridors." This is the kind of place where, like, a shield might really come in handy. The light you're carrying guides your group through the complete darkness. The polished walls of the tunnel, free of pointy rocks, were no doubt carved by human hands. Your steps are loud, unlike the gentle draft in the deep stream. You pass by another corridor buried by the mountain. You gesture for the others to stop. Something behind the corner kicked a rock that is now rolling on the floor. Do I want to give up my position? I don't think Hysterian is alive. Although, this place is pretty lush, and he knows how to survive. If he for whatever reason wanted to come here and didn't want to come back, he probably could survive here for quite some time, right? I can't help but be, and perhaps this is because I was watching someone play part of it not very long ago. I can't help but be put in mind of that little island in Disco Elysium. And I will say no more for fear of spoilers. But those of you who know, like, I'm going to call out Hysterian. The ghastly scream of a human-like throat makes you take a defensive stance, but, despite the passing breaths, no attack follows. Holding light in front of you, you reach the next chamber. The undead is furiously squirming in its attempts to release itself, alternately pulling the spear that's nailing it to the wall and reaching toward you, as if it's hoping you'll fall into its embrace. There are no other corpses in sight. The creature must be starving. Egidia covers her mouth, stopping herself from screaming. Thyrsus narrows his eyes. "Yeah, that's him." Pyrrhus spits on the floor, but then rubs it with his boot as if he had done something inappropriate. Quintus stands close to the exit, forming his arms in the shape of an hourglass. Let me take a look. So he's pinned to the wall with a spear. The half-rotten flesh and the worn, torn tunic tell you little, but Hysterian's short shell is still wearing the mail you were told about, now rusty, even more clangy than a new set. Some of the red hair and beard remain on the monstrous pale face, but most of their strands are all over the floor. The knees of the creature are shattered. Next to them rests a large rock. I mean, the broken legs are intentional. Did he do this to himself? I mean, the first thing I think seeing this scene is he knew he was going to die, so he broke his own legs and pinned himself to the wall because he couldn't very well burn his own shell, and then he knew he would be reanimated, and so he was trying to prevent his corpse from doing any further harm. But like, how did he know maybe he had like a wound too grievous to heal from or something? That is really grim. That's what I'm going to say out loud. He knew he was going to die, so he imprisoned himself here. You step closer. The undead does its best to throw itself at you, but it's not strong enough. Just one precise shot from my crossbow will handle this. The quarrel shatters the skull, scattering its pieces over the chamber. The corpse leans forward, loosely resting on the haft of the spear. Your crew remains silent. The light flickers. I managed to discover what happened to Hysterian. I look at Egidia. Are you all right? Ah, shit fire. Her shoulders slope as she steps away. Is this the weird? How souls like his get swallowed by the forest, while Theus sits on her throne of dragon bones. She gets weaker and weaker from that illness of hers, but still has enough breath to lie and scheme. It's just stupid. I don't want to carve my name here. That feels disrespectful to the place. And also like there's literally no benefit. I examine the cave. The centuries-old treasure spread among the collapsed racks and chests is mostly beyond use, but you do notice a few tools and statuettes made of now green bronze. Judging by the simplicity of the chamber, it was likely little more than a basic storage room. The corridors leading to the deeper caves have all been buried by time. Well, let's collect all the useful scraps of bronze and iron. Since you have quite a few capable hands with you, the clangs and rattles last for quite a bit, even though you take only the most promising pieces to avoid encumbrance. Pyrrhus makes sure you don't leave anything of great value behind. And I search the shells bundles. No one is eager to assist you. Among the decomposing soggy bags and pouches, you find a humble bunch of coins threaded on a bowstring, far from the 50 you were asked to find by Pelt's innkeep. Other than that, you find no potions, weapons, or travel kit, only a few unassembled torches. Well, I mean, the spear. Yeah. Let's get back to the boat before the sun rises. You spare the corpse one more look. Quintus is the first one to get outside. I should burn the bones. He deserves that, and also it's a thing I've done with every other corpse, You surround Hysterian's shell with a few wooden logs and some of his own possessions. The smoke drives you outside. The fresh air makes you yawn. You grab your bags and approach the edge of the scarp, observing the woods of High Island. You recognize the trail that led you here from the Valley of the Saurians. Let's try to just follow the same trail. We should be able to reach the harbor before low tide. You help your group tie the boat to the piling. Egidia, worried about Agro, is the first one to enter the hamlet. The others start to plan their return home. Thersis throws away one of his creepers. Gotta make a new one when I get home. Pyrrhus recalls the dangerous encounters from a few hours back, though in his tales, he is the one who saved your skin each time. Quintus is moody, though you can't tell if he'd rather fall asleep, get drunk, or eat a boar. I rub my eyes and follow Egidia. I better get ready. You scratch Agro's neck. Take off your bundles, splash your face with cold water. Now you need to take everyone to safety before you stop somewhere for the night. You're going to end the day at... Can I save here? Okay. I guess I could make one more decision. Well, I need to talk to what's her name. I cannot remember her name. The woman from the camp down south. I need to tell her that I found out what happened to Hysterian. So I guess the southern crossroads is the way. The signpost seems untouched. We can just go right there, right? Yeah, I'm not in any. Okay, so I am going to spend some time placing a bronze rod at the top of the escarpment. You tether Agro to the signpost so it can graze for a bit. The rock face is smooth and tall, uninviting. You don't have proper tools to support you, and you don't see any good spots where you could rest your hands while climbing. But my grappling hook should do well here. Tying the rope to the bone hook is easy enough, though you struggle to throw it just right. They expect you to have done this stuff before you expertly use your bone hook at the island. It's a little awkward. After the fifth attempt, it gets stuck between a branch and the stems of a shrub. You pull it for a bit, then jump in place, making sure the bushwood won't break under your weight. Then climb to the top slowly, walking on the surface of the wall. As you stand on the grass and look down, the crossroads are indeed not so far below you, but it catches your attention how fragile the bridge between the two crags seems to be. I tie the rod to the bare tree. You knock on the dead plant, and it's still full of wood, strong. After just a bit more effort, the rod hugs the trunk, and even your deliberate efforts are not enough to make it fall down. And then I grab my belongings, slide down, and we head to the pelt. The guard welcomes you with a nod. As you ride in, the other hunters playing with their boar, there's just a verb missing. The other hunters are playing with their boar, patting its side and feeding it. At this hour, the armorer's workshop is closed. Yeah, that's fine. I go to the well. Wash my shell. Splashing yourself with cold water from a bucket won't take away your smell, but it's enough to remove the tallow and sweat from your skin or mud stains from your clothes. Feeling better. Another point of vitality will get my appearance back. Everything will be good. Let's enter the inn. I join Tulia. Tulia is her name. She smiles and rests her ankle on her knee. Hi there. I found Hysterian. Tulia doesn't interrupt you, nodding as she's keenly listening to your tale about clues and rumors, the old tribes, and the awakened corpse. She ponders for a bit, looking at the oven. So, what do you make of it? Not the brightest death I could wish for someone. Yeah. I still don't really know why he went, do I? He was looking for something, it seemed like. Yeah, I don't know what to think. I'd like to learn his own perspective. She sighs. Well, we won't read his soul. Let it go. It's in the past now. Yeah, you're right. I'll be fine. Hysterian's family won't be happy to hear the news, but thanks to you, they can start to heal. Now we need you to take care of yourself. You've got potential. Well, that is the plan. She stretches out, heads upstairs, and brings you a few items. There's enough of them to make her stumble, but she covers her embarrassment with a chuckle. Well, this is my part of the deal. She rests 2 weapons against the table. You remove the cloth wrapped around the spear's head. It's sharp, made of steel. The shaft is made of thick oak. Hysterian must have had pretty large hands. It is partially covered with linen cord and leather straps, intended to support one's grip. The bow is currently unstrung, but it would be about 5 feet long. The The polished red oak shines in the light. You wonder if you're too old to learn how to shoot such a weapon. I look at the things on the table. The leather pouch must be decades old. You shake it. There's a few bones inside, but also something metal. You reach for the earthenware bottles. 3 of them are very similar to each other, as small as your fist, and all are sealed with wax, though the tiny sticks in them will enable swift opening. Tulia explains they contain small amounts of a healing concoction. The last bottle is much larger. There are 2 letters engraved on its surface. NB. The soldier has no idea what it is. Well, finding space for it all among my bundles won't be easy. Agro spares you a glance as you reach toward your bundles, but then returns to its nap. You take a deep breath. You could have taken the easy way out, but you didn't. Your back, buttocks, and legs are aching from a long journey. The first night you spent on the peninsula could be a lifetime ago. Yet, you're still here. And who knows, maybe even rich. So, okay, he had some small healing potions. He had a bow that I don't know how to use and will probably just sell. You toss up the linen pouch and not only hear some dragon bones, but also the sound of bone hitting a piece of metal. Open it up. Turns out the large piece of metal was an iron key, but there is no clue explaining its purpose. Aside from that, you found 6 dragon bones. I wonder if it's the key to the watchtower? So, we've got 34 bones. That's a pretty good amount. I don't know if it's enough. I don't know if it's enough to, feel comfortable. This bottle was previously owned by Hysterian. It's closed but not sealed. Open and sniff. The smell coming from the inside is both fruity and floral. It brings to the soul sweet berries, sour apples, and violets. You struggle to detect the scent of a hard drink, but once you find it, it's clear that it's wine. In the cities, such drinks are considered rare and often get expensive. The only ones you've tasted were made locally and considered to be of low quality. This one here may be the real deal, but you'd need an expert to confirm it. Do we know an expert on wine? Okay. This is not enough to heal an entire shell. Out of curiosity, first of all, approach the guards. The boar greets you with an oink, making Dalit giggle. So, it's you who brought that stubborn ibex here. You saved his life, Samhain. Now what we've got to do is convince him to use more soap. She covers her nose exaggeratedly. And these are not the wilds anymore. She mimics Quintus's accent. Yeah, I'd like to put this rod on your watchtower for Eudocia the Enchantress. She moves it close to her face, observing it with widened eyes. Is this some sort of magic thing? After your reassuring words, she pauses. Well, I mean, if it's nothing dangerous, fine. I'll tie it somewhere during my watch, don't you worry. So that's all of them, right? We actually did it? We actually did, yeah. I guess we can go back to, we have to go, today's day 38. So we have to go back to the tribe to tell them the story anyway, right? They told us they'd be very cross if we didn't. So we can stop by Eudocia's and probably get a little more paid on the way. Hey, did you know that there are undead that use light? Kind of? She gives you an unconvinced smile. I know they grow more human-like the older they get. I think they don't need light, they just want it. Like when they put on clothes or take trinkets from those they kill. Huh. About the goblins. I mean, we don't really need to root out any goblins, right? I'm not giving her 10 dragon bones. So I think we're good. Let's go back inside the inn. What I want to do here is, what I was thinking was we would try to sell stuff to the innkeeper. But first, I want to talk to people. Okay, there's nothing else. Oops, shoot, sorry. Nothing else to say to Tulia. Nothing else to say to... I keep doing that. Nothing else to say to Pyros. Step toward Quintus. Warden, I Take another look at the main hall. Okay, go to the innkeeper. Hey, you got any leftovers? Yep, you're lucky. Just planning to give it to the boar. Hell yeah, free food. Hey, I found Hysterian. You tell an abridged version of your story, during which you struggle to read anything from the innkeep's eyes. Once you're done, he tensely moves his shoulders, waiting for something. This guy is lying to screw Foggy, and I like Foggy. So I think I'm going to lie and screw him. Also, I need the money. He probably let us keep it, but also, this is like poetically appropriate, I feel like. I'm afraid he just had a couple of dragons. Ah, shit, but Quintus and Pyrrhus are both right here. Yeah, I could get very, very caught doing that. All right, here are the dragon bones he had with him in the cave. I'm afraid it's not even close to 50. He taps his fingers on the counter, but takes a deep breath. Oh, could be worse. Keep 5 of them. He looks down. Man, ape shit on his head. Looks like I've been conned. The darkness of the room gives his eyes a sad look. You didn't know him, but what do you think? Was he a crook? I don't think he would try to steal from you. And even if he did, he would have had good reason, maybe? I'm not sure. I don't like this. I don't like the middle answer. I wanna give him more to work with, but I don't really know anything, and I don't love either of these answers. I mean, I don't think he would try to steal from you, and even if he did, he would have had a good reason. He purses his lips. Maybe. Maybe not. There's only so much trust I'm willing to give him. He sighs. I'm gonna keep my hopes low. He looks down. I'm glad you're trustworthy. Getting to an island like that ain't an easy feat. This peninsula needs people like you. Too many things happening away from everyone's eyes. Yeah. Hey, show me your wares. I would like to purchase from you rations. And then I would like to sell you many things. You want some iron scraps? I could free you from this iron and steel, but we don't have a furnace to work with them. Say 6 coins? Yeah, I think I'm actually down with that, because White Marshes is the only other place I would think they'd have real value, and obviously, they're not going to buy them from me. What else did you bring? Well, I brought this bow. Oh, didn't that belong to a Hysterian? He takes it for a moment and makes sure there are no cuts or other defects. Now, we have some bow fingers on the wall. 10 coins? Do I want to sell Hysterian's stuff? He says it's cheap wine. I don't actually believe that. Um? 25? Is that actually... Okay, it was 3 sets of iron scraps. Well, shit. Yeah, I'm pretty happy to get 18 for all that. For a second there, I thought it just wasn't selling and it was just giving me stuff. I'm a little reluctant to part with Hysterian's bow. I think I am going to sell him my fresh healing potions, though, because we have the little healing potions, which he doesn't seem interested in. Yeah, deal. I got another one. Deal? Cool. And then... forget it. Hey, wait a second. Wasn't Hysterian supposed to have a cloak? Right? Eudocia told us about that cloak that Hysterian had. Did I miss a bag or something here? No, it doesn't seem like it. Well, I guess... I take another look at the main hall. Hey, Tulia. She doesn't have anything else for me. Oh well, I mean, it's fine. Maybe the cloak was on him still? If we were pretty thorough. Maybe it's lost. Oh well. Do I want to tell her about Caius now? Now that it probably almost couldn't matter. Now that I don't need her to like me anymore. No, I still don't think it doesn't do anything except bring up trauma for her and potentially get her after him, which he's not gonna like. So I think with that, we're basically done with the day. I'm gonna take a minute here to fix my clothes. Oh, my clothes are good? Really? Why am I only at 2 points? Oh, right. I need the third piece of cleanliness gear, I guess, to get 3 of 3, and then I don't have my I don't have the point from my vitality. Combat experience, worryingly high. Okay. Sewing experience, also high. Lies, some. Interesting. Some lies are difficult to pull off for an unexperienced liar. So if you practice up on weak lies, it's got a sort of a leveling up your deception skill kind of vibe. That's interesting. Yeah, all right. I don't think there's anything else to do here except sleep. Yeah, and I'm as clean as I'm getting. All right. We can sleep in a room for free. Okay, some proper washing stuff, and we get vitality. That rules. Do not tell me muddy roads. It's the last day of your journey. You feel it in your muscles. After a good winter of rest, you could become quite a rider. Tomorrow morning, I'll head to Tulia. Okay, nothing especial here. That's it. It's day 39, and there's a couple of things that I still need to do. But this episode's gotten plenty long enough. I knew the High Island one was going to end up being long. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I am so glad that we found Hysterian, because I was starting to get really worried that I wasn't going to figure out how to do it. When y'all come back next time, I do believe we are completing our journey and hopefully bringing home enough dragon bones to help the people that we have back home in need, and also hopefully convincing the people of Havlavan to mostly leave the peninsula alone. Fingers crossed, and we'll see you then.